Welcome to the High Ticket Success Podcast, where premium coaches, consultants, and advisors come for bold strategies, big breakthroughs, and real results. I'm your host, Dave Dubeau. Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the High Ticket Success Podcast. Today, we're in for a real special treat because we have not only a very, very experienced coach, but Karen Davis also comes from an extensive background in corporate America and in executive life. So she understands things from both perspectives, from the perspective of the client, the perspective of the busy executive, as well as the side of being a professional coach herself. And she's written a really, really good book that I think is a must-have for all coaches to give to their new clients. So Karen, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
So, Karen, give us a little overview of, a little bit about who you serve and what kind of results you're helping them to get. So, who is your ideal kind of coaching client?
Yeah, so my ideal client has really shifted over the
Okay.
years. I started out working inside large corporations with senior level executives, and I'm still doing some of that today, but mostly I'm working with entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
typically CEOs of small businesses, as well as other business and executive coaches. And I've been working with business executive coaches since 2013, entrepreneurs and executives since I started my practice in 2007. So,
Interesting. Okay. So, different demographics, and you've kind of moved a little ways away from the executives that you were coaching before, and now it's more the entrepreneurs. But I find it also very interesting that you're coaching coaches.
yes.
So when you're coaching coaches, is it around the normal stuff that you coach other executive clients around, or is it more around the coaching business side of things? How does
Yeah.
that look? What are the similarities and differences?
So the similarities is that I am coaching them, which means I'm evoking their own inner wisdom. And then the differences are that they're my apprentice. So that I'm
Hmm,
also teaching them how to become a better coach, and I'm teaching them how to grow their business.
hmm.
And so
So
there's,
it's a double whammy for them, basically.
yeah, advice,
Yeah.
really three main things: advising, teaching, and coaching. Versus when I'm working with my entrepreneurs, I am about 80% just beautiful, pure coaching and 20% consulting, advising, based
Interesting.
upon my years of experience as well as all the entrepreneurs that I've worked with, that I
Very
become
cool.
that central clearinghouse for what works.
Hmm.
And so after we've coached, and if they're still struggling, I might, with permission, share an idea or two that they might.
Very, very cool. So, Karen, why have you kind of made the switch a little bit from coaching other executives to more the entrepreneur side of things?
Yeah, great question. What I found that there was a big influx of coaches in like 2013, 2014. I started out back in 2007 when people didn't really even understand what coaching was.
Hmm.
And then as that more and more coaches came into the space, what happened, especially inside of corporate, was it started becoming more commoditized.
Uh,
And my rates were much higher than what was accustomed in corporate at that stage.
yeah, yeah, always is a challenge, isn't it? When things
Yeah,
become commoditized and trying to differentiate yourself, especially when it's not the client themselves, perhaps that's paying the bill.
that's
It might
right.
be their company that's paying the bill. Interesting stuff. So, speaking of high ticket, that's the name of the show. What does high ticket mean for you, Karen? What does that term mean for you when it comes to your business and the clientele that you like to work with?
So, what I've done over the years is really stair step my rates up as I invest more in my own coaching, being
Hmm.
coached, going to different educational programs, that type of thing. And high ticket for me would be like having seven-figure business. My
Hmm.
business is not seven figures, it's in the high six figures, which is a just a real sweet spot for me. I don't like to I work one-on-one with
Yeah.
clients. I don't do
Hmm.
a lot of group coaching, but if you did group coaching and one-on-one, you could definitely have a seven-figure business if you ran a coaching school, for example. you could have a seven-figure business. I
Interesting.
personally love my
You like the
lifestyle.
one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I love my
what does that
lifestyle.
look like for you, Karen? What, if you don't mind sharing, what does, and for you and for your apprentices, what's kind of like the sweet spot as far as number of clients you like to be working with at any one time? What your calendar kind of looks like, how many coaching sessions you're having with them per
Yeah.
month, or what does that kind of look like, if you don't
Yeah.
mind sharing?
So I typically will work with around 13 clients in a year.
Okay.
I have so I work with them either by phone, by Zoom, or in person. I have a coaching studio here in the lower level of my home.
Hmm.
So I see a lot of clients in person, and I have clients fly in from all over the world. I do 2-day sessions called accelerators, and those are massively transformative. And what was the other part of the question?
I asked a whole bunch of that
You
question, so
did.
I for what, but basically it's like, what does the calendar look like? How do you
My
work with
calendar.
clients? So you
Yes,
said you
thank
like to
you.
work with 13 clients a year,
Yes,
and
yes,
how are you working with them? So you're saying they're either flying in, spending 2 days at a time with you, or are you doing it by
yes,
phone or by Zoom? So I'm,
yes. And then in addition, we're coaching. Coaching requires that you're creating momentum and that there's a cadence to that momentum. And so I
yeah.
typically will work with them the first, the third week of every month, where they have the fourth and fifth week off to the second, fourth, fifth week off to really implement what it is that we're creating during the coaching. And
Hmm.
then sometimes when they want really, they have some big things that they're up to, I'll work the first 3 weeks of every month with them. And in addition, they always have accelerators. So every program that I create has either one or more accelerators within that year, plus then the coaching the first or third week or the first 3 weeks of every month. And I do those accelerators in the fourth and fifth week, typically.
Interesting. Okay, very, very cool. So you're doing, if I'm getting my math right, you're doing one or two accelerators a month, and then you're meeting with your clients on average twice a month, each
Yes.
client for individual type sessions.
Yeah. So
Okay,
24 or 36 sessions in a year. Yeah.
24 or 36 sessions in a year. Okay, very, very cool. The sessions, how long are they usually that you're
They're
coaching
they're
people?
1 hour sessions
Hmm.
typically. Sometimes they might be a 75-minute, depending upon what we're working on.
Hmm.
And then the accelerators, I do the first day 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and the second day is 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and they're
Hmm.
in the work the entire time. And so they know not to schedule things that after that first day. And then the morning of the second day, we've co-created something in the first day that they're working on that they bring in to the second
I
day.
can see the benefit of them flying out to you in Colorado and just
Huge.
doing that on site so they're not distracted by life. That it'd be a little bit more challenging to do that by phone or by
That's
Zoom, I would
right.
imagine.
That's
Yeah.
right. And then the other thing that you asked me, Dave, was what is the secret sauce? And
Yeah.
what I would say the secret sauce, and I just did this with two entrepreneurs that had accelerators the last couple of weeks with me. And it's about not just coaching on the business, it's about creating the person and who they're being.
Hmm.
And this is a something that I learned from my coach, Steve Hardison.
Hmm.
And there's a whole process that we go through and really checking in on what are the judgments that they're having about themselves. Then, can they forgive themselves for that judgment? And then,
Hmm.
what is the truth? And creating what they call a daily declaration or a document, where what people don't understand is that if you don't create yourself, those other people around you will create you, and then you'll
Hmm.
start to believe that, and that's not true. So really get digging in and seeing what you're all about and how you can create yourself each and every day. And what I see are the ripple effects outwardly within their business as well as their personal life at home. So it's just fantastic to be able to start with that as the first kind of engagement with my new
Okay.
clients.
So that is that what you usually do in one of those 2 day sessions? Is that the main focus of the first one?
That's the main focus of the first one. And then it makes it it makes it really easy for me to be able to coach them. They're
Mm,
very open. They
yeah.
really understand who they are.
They're being vulnerable with you. Yeah.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. And so at the end of that second day, they are speaking who they are, who they are
Mm,
creating themselves to be. And what we speak is what we create. And so the gentleman that I just coached in a 2-day accelerator last week
yeah.
came in today, this morning, and had it completely memorized who he's creating
Wow.
himself to be. Yeah.
That is very, very powerful. So I imagine people aren't necessarily signing up for that when they engage with you for your coaching services. What is it that most of your clients are looking for or they think they're looking for initially? And then how do you kind of get them on board with this whole what they really need side of
Yes.
things?
Oh, beautiful question. So, what they typically come to me for is that there's something going wrong. Well, an example with this gentleman I just spoke of, he's been married 19 years. They have two young kids, and they were living apart, and
Mm,
they had come to this crossroads in their relationship. They're now back together in the home and we're working through all of that. And all of that is transferable into his business, of
mm.
course, because what was happening at home was impacting his business and his relationship with his employees. And so that's, what's possible. And so they come to me because everything's kind of not
Yeah,
going
he
great.
didn't necessarily come to you for marriage advice.
No,
He was coming to you for business stuff, but he
correct.
got reconnected with his wife. Yeah.
Yes, all of it. And he sees now how all of it intersects
Mm,
because how we're being one way is how we're being all always,
yeah.
right? And so the other entrepreneur that I just did an accelerator with the week before that,
Mm,
2 weeks ago, he came to me because he knew someone that I had worked with that had essentially sold his business for double what the so he came to me, he had an offer for 6.3 million to buy his business. He ended up selling it for 11 million. And
nice.
so, and we worked together for 3 years and got some things all turned around. And this gentleman was a very strong referral and said, "Hey, I'm in a similar situation and can you help me?"
Nice. Nice.
So,
So I would imagine that word of mouth and referrals is probably the main way that
yes,
you grow your business. Do you do anything else in addition to that for doing lead generation?
it's really for me. And I know you know Steve Chandler.
Yeah.
And I worked with Steve Chandler for 11 years, and I've worked with Rich Litvin, as well as Steve Chandler's coach, Steve Hardison.
Yeah.
And so I'm deeply uh, involved in the Prosperous Coach methodology.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I know you've interviewed Steve, and I'm sure he talked about the Prosperous Coach methodology, which is about service.
Yeah.
And so the way that I create business is definitely through referral and being of service and connecting with other people out there in the world,
Exactly.
essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, providing value first,
Hmm.
giving quote unquote free sessions to qualify people that have been referred to you by
Yes.
your current and past clients, serving them, showing
Yes.
the proof in the pudding right up front
That's right.
with coaching and then getting them engaged as coaching clients
Yeah.
if that's what they want. Yeah.
And it's truly for both
Yeah.
of us, right? It's for both of us to have that opportunity to see, do we have chemistry? Are we a good fit? Do I feel like I can really help that person be successful in the world? And so it really goes both ways. And I've been practicing the Coach methodology since they first began publishing the book.
Mhm.
In fact, when they were writing the book in 2012. And I followed it ever since. And that's what I teach my coaches that I work with. And I'm a big believer.
Yeah, that Chandler is a pretty smart guy.
He is. Amen.
Speaking of smart people, you're a very smart person yourself as well, and I love what you've done. You've written a book with your partner, with Alex Mill. It's called How to Get the Most Out of Coaching. And
Yes.
thank you very much for sending me a copy ahead of our interview here today. Very, very smart thing to do, if you ask me, because there's a gazillion books about how to be a good coach and what to do and the ABCs of coaching and all that kind of stuff. I don't think there's any other books on how to be a good coaching client and how to get the most out of the coaching experience. So that's what you guys created. Tell me a little bit about the book, why you wrote it, how you use it. I'm thinking this is one of those things that other coaches should be buying boxfuls of to give to their
Yes.
clients
Yes,
as
and
they
they
start.
are
As
actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
nice,
they
smart.
are buying boxfuls
Yeah, that's
of
great.
books.
So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how that all came to be.
Yeah, so going back to, I believe, 2019, 2020, Alex and I were on a walk one morning, and he said, I wish that I had a book that could really educate my clients when they come into the coaching experience how to best get the most out of the
Hmm.
coaching. And the way that he said it, stopped me in my tracks. And I just looked at him. I said, you know what? There's not a book out there like that. I've looked for it. It's not out there. You should write it. And he says, no, you should write it. You've been coached for so many years that you really understand how to get the most out of the experience. And
From both sides, exactly.
yeah. So we
Yeah.
kind of went back and forth. And then, of course, we all know COVID hit. And then we decided that, wow, let's do this. We first ran it past all the coaches that were in Steve Chandler's Advanced Client Systems, ACS school that we were
Hmm.
both in. And I asked Steve, I said, hey, can we have 30 minutes after lunch? Because we want to run this idea past everyone. And they all applauded. They were like, do it, do it, do it. And so that's we started putting together everything that we felt was so important for clients to really understand before they ever come in, even into that first complimentary experience
Mm.
of coaching. I will send that book early on to someone that I've connected with so that they really understand what is coaching, what is the difference between coaching, consulting, and therapy. What should I do? How do I prepare? What kind of agreements? What, how, what can they expect in
Yeah.
terms of me being able to share what I want in terms of my goals and my roadmap for the coaching?
And how much is the coach going to do? How much am I supposed to do? So setting up those realistic expectations, because I would imagine that you and a lot of other coaches have had clients come on board with very different expectations of what they think coaching should be versus yours, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And we go into a lot of detail that what do you do before that coaching session? What do you
Hmm.
do during the coaching session? What do you do after the coaching session? And then what do you do between your sessions? And so we're really trying to give clients a leg up so that they really can get the most from their experience with coaches. And that's why coaches are buying the book to
Hmm.
give to their clients because it benefits the coach
Oh, absolutely.
as well as the client, of course.
Yeah. It really just sets the whole framework, the whole parameter for what the relationship's going to be about. It sets up those very, very realistic expectations. It shows the client that, hey, it's a two-way street. Don't expect your coach to be a miracle worker and fix the world for you. You actually have to get off your rusty dusty and do something yourself
That's
and take
right.
it, take away those aha moments and actually take action on them. Your coach can't do that part for you. So yeah, it's very, very smart. So what have you seen happen since the book has come out, Karen?
For myself personally in my
Yeah.
practice, yeah.
Yourself personally, as well as just anecdotally from other coaches
Oh,
using the
yeah.
book.
Yes. So, from my own perspective, like I said before, I give the book out very early on so that they already are understanding, oh, I need to bring in the topic into the coaching. My coach isn't going to give that to me.
Hmm.
I'm going to come in with it. Oh, great. Oh, I'm responsible for my results. And And oh, these are things I need to do between sessions. And oh, here's some things that'll make me more coachable.
Hmm.
And here are some derailers that I need to understand. I'm going off on tangents, I'm going off on stories, I'm talking about other people instead of myself. And so um, that is what I found so helpful, that I have these brilliant minds coming into the coaching experience very early on. And what that allows me to do is create greater impact. And when I create
Hmm.
greater impact, then they typically will become a client, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When got one or two sessions, boom, they're like, whoa. So
I
that's
can
for
see it.
me.
Yeah. And
And
then for
and
other
then
coaches, what have you heard from them?
from other coaches, very similar
Yeah, I would
stories. I'm
imagine.
using your book. It's made such a difference. My clients used to show up late. They show up on time. We have great agreements. I've watched your video on how to create strong agreements. It just it so many wonderful reviews out there on
Well, one of the things I
Amazon.
really like about the book as well is it's really not a self-serving kind of book where you're trying to generate clients from the readers of that book. I'm sure that'll happen organically as well. But it really is a resource that you've
Mhm.
created for coaches to give to their clients and prospective clients to just make their lives so much better for
Yeah.
both of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that was
appreciate that.
our we had initially thought our primary target audience were people who were interested in coaching. And what we found out, oh, that's our secondary audience. The primary audience was really truly coaches.
Yeah, the ones that are going to give these books to their
Mhm.
respective clients. No, smart, very smart. Yeah, I can see that how you thought it was going to be the other way around, but it worked out that way. Karen, this has been great. If people would like to get more Karen Davis and find out more about you or connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
So the best way would be to go to my website, karendaviscoaching.com. I'm also out on YouTube. And so if you Google Karen Davis, you should be able to find my YouTube channel. I have things out there like the Coach's Notebook. Yeah, I just started that up. So those are videos to help educate coaches. I'll be doing one probably next year for entrepreneurs. And so, yeah, I'm always excited to talk to new people and connect. So you can
Wonderful.
reach out on my website and connect to me.
Nice. Karen, thanks so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it.
Dave, thank you. Thank you so much. I
All right,
appreciate
everybody,
your time.
take care, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the High Ticket Success Podcast. Want to be featured? Share your story and inspire other premium coaches, consultants, and advisors? Apply now at highticketsuccesspodcast.com/guest.